Rant o'clock, Kulays. I'm Esther, and welcome to another episode of Rants of a Barca Girl. Thank you again for joining me today. So last week we spoke about our first comeback, Barca first comeback of the season. We spoke about Fermin transfer rumors, and then we spoke about the UCL draw, those that will be meeting at the group stage. And I think I mentioned that I feel like our biggest challenge would be PSG and Newcastle. I said I don't think Chelsea is going to prove to be much headache for us. Anyway, that's what I believe anyway. And we got some comments. On our social media pages. Ladi Talk said he thinks PSG is going to be our biggest challenge. Well, we wait and see. We are going to be playing them 1st of October at home. So we wait and see how that goes. And then I think one of the Chelsea fans replied to say, Alexa replied and said, oh, why do we keep underestimating Chelsea? I'm thinking, okay, fine. Maybe it's wrong to underestimate them because you guys have been fantastic at least the last 3 matches as well. So I don't want to. We just wait and see. Today, I'm just going to be talking about all things Barca, just the general things going on. And I'm going to be talking about the last game we played against Rayo, how we drew points. I'm just going to talk about Fermin finally staying, which is good. Going to be talking about the international break and my worries. Just general rants. Most of them are not too happy rants, to tell you. I need to tell you right now. I'm not too happy about most things that is going on, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully things change. So let's just go straight to our last game we played against Rayo, where we drew 1-1, and that's the 3rd game of the season. Rayo has always been a difficult opponent anyway, so going into that match, going into their home, I think few days to that match, we saw the state of the pitch. That really got me worried. And if you remember last season, it was that same stadium that Bernard, got injured, suffered the UCL, and is still not back. So I was kind of worried, and I saw the state of the pitch again. I'm thinking, why would Tebas even allow this? We shouldn't even be playing in this kind of field. Why are we even contemplating it? Why is the management, why are the boss not saying anything? But anyways, nothing was done, so we headed there and we drew. And if I start explaining what happened in that match, I think I'm gonna be pissed all over again. But I just want to be happy that we at least got a point out of it. And the 3 games we played, now we have 7 points, and it's just too early in the season to even start complaining deeply. So I don't want to, because if I analyze that match, I look at it and it's getting me furious. So we drew 1-1. I think I've mentioned that, and Lamine got a penalty, which has raised a lot of controversies, to be honest, because the VAR was not working at the beginning of that match. So it was the referee decision to give that penalty or not. And a lot of people have come forward to say that was not a penalty. The referee made the wrong call. But anyways, whatever it is, that's on the referee. A penalty was awarded. And at the beginning of it all, he had Rafinha holding the ball. I actually thought he was going to be the one taking the penalty, because I think we all know last season, or how it has always been anyway, last season specifically, if Lewandowski was on the pitch, he would take the penalty, and if he was absent, Rafinha would take the penalty. I mean, that was how it was last season. So I was kind of expecting the same thing, and Rafinha was holding on to the ball, and then before I knew it, Lamine was right at the front of him. I don't know, maybe demanding, I don't know. At the end of the day, he gave the ball to Lamine, and Lamine scored the penalty. He scored. That was right at the 40 minutes in the game. So I do have some thoughts about that, but I don't want to say anything about it. I just want that I want that whole day to just be an abnormal day. Let's just count it to be a weird day. Yes, so where everything that could have gone wrong, I don't know. Let's just count it to be a weird day. That's just what it is. So, and then the game continued, and there was a lot of selfish play. There was some people holding the balls unnecessarily, wanting to shoot when they could have passed. It was just unnecessarily selfish that day. I don't know how to count it. I don't know what to say. The front they were below par. I have never seen us that awful at the front before. Everybody was just playing to suit themselves. The midfield wasn't connecting like it used to. It was just chaos. It was just full chaos. And then Rayo scored. They scored at 67 minutes, and it was 1-1. And you know what? That day could have been 5-1. I am against us. It could have been even 6-1 against us, because we kind of lost the plot completely. I don't know what went on that day, but we lost it. And Rayo keep coming back, and I cannot count the number of times that that they broke through, our high line. They kept coming back, and thank God for Young Garcia. I mean, that was, I probably would say, I'm angry about how the whole transfer window went, how we were unable to get a defender or anything. But one thing we did right, if there's one thing that was fantastic for us this transfer window, it was Joan Garcia that we signed, because he was the man of the match. He was the Messiah that God sent to us, that made us at least got 1 point out of that match. He was everywhere. Kicking with his leg, he was just everywhere, amazing. So after that match, the coach had come out, Hansi Flick had come out and said, okay, he doesn't know what is going on, but last season we played as a team, and there is no room for selfishness in his team. There's no room for selfishness in this game. And then I've had Pedri said the same thing. He was interviewed and he said the same thing, to say, okay, last season the whole players are the same, and I couldn't even agree more, because we have been seeing it. It's just that for someone like me, I don't want to talk. I don't like to unnecessarily cause chaos. I think that's the word. But it's been obvious, that some, have been playing selfishly. But anyways, I know it's an individual award, especially since the whole announcement about Ballon d'Or. People have been doing some weird things. They've put themselves first. Some certain people anyway, or maybe one or two people, they've been putting themselves first. Torres has always been a selfish player. I'm going to come out and say that. He has always been extremely selfish. And I think maybe most Barca fan has a different opinion than this, but this is me. I've always believed this, and I think he's a super sub, and I don't think we should change him. So every time we've played Torres as a starter, every time he started a game, he's always been unnecessarily wasteful, extremely selfish, and that's just my opinion. That's what I've noticed. But you bring him from the bench, oh my God, he's amazing, he's fantastic. It's like he has a point to prove. He's like, oh, why didn't you start me? I'm going to show you guys that what I'm made of. Amazing. He contributes. He's very impactful. But then use him as a starter, oh my God, it's headache. So it's just everything went wrong that day. So let's just count it to what it is. But going forward, I am hoping that after the international break, they would come back to their usual self. I mean, the team will be what it was before, and everything will go on as usual, as it was last season. That's just all I want to say about that game. Thank God. Let's move on to Fermin. The transfer window is finally closed. And my fear, that big fear where I was thinking, oh, Fermin is going to Chelsea, Fermin is going to Newcastle, Fermin is going, those rumors that had me on sleepless nights. Well, thank God it didn't happen. Transfer window closed. Fermin is still in Barca. And they interviewed him afterwards, and he said, oh, Barca has always been his dream. He never actually gave it a thought. And then he said, oh, there were some people on the team that actually told him not to leave as well. And then he mentioned Pedri, he mentioned Arao, he mentioned Ter Stegen. So he said he never even thought about it. And I'm thinking, see, sometimes these things that you hear people write, that's why you can never trust the media. You see all those pundits and media and influencers, you can't trust what they are saying, because you just give yourself a dick. Well, you remember all those things that was just they were posting online, and look at him, he wasn't even thinking about it. Me, I'm here worried. Anyways, he's staying in Barca, he's not going anywhere. He's going to see through his contract in 2029, and hopefully, I hope that he will renew. Anyway, so Fermin saga is finally over, thank God. And they asked him about his dream, and he said, oh, his dream is to win the World Cup with Spain and then win Champions League with Barca, and I am hoping that the later will happen this season, that we win the Champions League. Anyways, that is that about Fermin's transfer saga. And now we move on to international break. We are now on international break. We don't get to see our boys play again until 14th of September. And I'm a bit worried. I'm always worried when they go on their international break, because I don't know if you guys remember, it was during international break that Pedri got injured. So whenever Gavi too, remember, I was doing international break. I don't want to start giving myself headache. So I'm worried, because I'm thinking, I hope my players will come back safely. Like 13 or 11 of them that's gone on international break. So Gavi was part of the squad, but he's injured, so he's out. Pedri is Omo is Pedri, Omo, Fermin is, and I'm trying from the Spain. Kubasi in. I'm starting from the Spain right there. Kubasi is, Lewandowski is going, Kunde is, Christensen, like Lamine. We have like 11 of our players recently, on international duties, and it's got me scared so badly. I am praying, because we cannot even afford to lose anybody right now. Already our squad is very thin, very, very thin, and we can't. Balde is injured. I think we read it in the news a day, 2 days ago, or was it last? I think it's Was it last night? 2 days ago. Anyway, that Balde is injured. So he got injured during training, which means that our game against Newcastle, our away game against Newcastle, would have Gerard Martin playing that wing. So that's already another headache for me, because I'm thinking, why is Balde always injured when we need it the most? Remember when he had to play inter-second leg, he was injured as well, and that was disastrous. So I'm thinking, God, what is going on? I mean, it's not like we have anybody to replace him, anybody as good as he is to replace him. So Gerard Martin will have, and some people have said, oh, don't count Gerard Martin out, he's done some good too. Well, I don't want to say anything about that. You just wait and see when we play Newcastle. So I am scared. That's got me scared, because I'm thinking we cannot afford to have any player get injured again, not the way we have. Because guess what, guys? So I got curious, and then I went to the UCL website, and then I was going through team squad one after the other. I think I went through Liverpool, Real Madrid. And can you imagine, guys, Real Madrid has over 30 something players registered as their UCL squad. I'm telling you, go and check almost 40 players registered. I think like 39 I counted. And then I was counting our own, and we had 23 players. I'm thinking, like, you look at it, even Liverpool, our squad depth is very, very thin at the moment. So, fingers crossed. Well, I know it's not about the numbers. It's actually about the might. So, number does not matter. My boys are very impactful. So, but still, I'm still worried. And another good news, maybe the good news is now that we've now registered Rooney, although we did register him as a sub, So, I don't know, but we've also registered Mark by now, so that's good news. We've registered him, so I kind of think at the moment our registration problem is kind of like maybe not extremely over. We wait until January to see how, but right now at the moment everybody's registered, which is fantastic. So I just want to be happy for that. I want to be happy for that. So in case you are interested, anyway, Spain is going to be playing the international break. Most of our boys are Spanish, so you can keep watching Spain matches. Maybe that will hold you on until we come back and play Valencia on the 14th. And on the news of playing Valencia on the 14th, we still are not sure where we are going to be playing, because as much as Laporta and his cohorts are trying to get Camp Nou ready, and there's been news here and there to say, oh, he might be ready, might not be ready, he might be ready. Nothing concrete, because these are just contradictory news. One, you read one, you say, oh, it's going to be ready, and there's another say, no, there's another issue going on. So nobody can say emphatically if he's going to be ready or not until, I think, few days until that match. But as it is right now, they're trying, the boards are trying as much as possible to get that ready. Hopefully it will be, and if it's not, that means we are definitely going to be playing that match at Johan Cruyff Stadium. So, which is not, I feel like which doesn't fit La Liga's requirement. It's below La Liga requirement, but we just wait and see. Either way, September 14 is going to be here soon, and then however it comes, the most important thing is that we win that match. I don't care where we are playing. I'm not giving much thought about that. We just win that match. That's all that is important to me. Anyway, guys, so let's try as much as possible to enjoy the international break. Watch our boys play. Spain, Poland, Lewandowski is in Poland, Christensen is Danish, so if you can watch, Denmark play as well, just enjoy, watch France play. Kunde is in France, wherever, whichever team our boys are in, let's just try and enjoy it and hold ourselves at least until we get to see them again September 14th. So that's all I have for now, guys. That's all on Barca news for now. So over to you guys. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about this international break? I feel it's too much. It's coming too much. I think like there's going to be another one in the next few months, and it's just giving me a headache. What do you guys think? Are you as worried as I am about our players? What do you think about our last game? What do you think about it? I know I don't want to keep raising or pointing fingers, but what do you think? What do you think is wrong? How do you think we can fix it before it seeps deeply into the fabric of who we are? Because we don't want that. So I know we'll be fine. So I want to hear from you guys. Please go to our social media pages at Rants of the Barca Girls and drop your comments, and we will of course engage and reply immediately. And please guys, do not forget to follow us at Spotify, at Apple, and please keep sharing. Keep sharing. We can always do this with your support. Keep sharing and keep sharing. Until next week, remember, good or bad, we rant. Bye, Kules.